So let's have another look now at the mutable sequences type section of the documentation. We'll paste the link into Google. Now this table shows all the operations that are supported for mutable sequences. The only mutable sequence type that's built into Python is the list, but there are other types in the standard library. Now note that this table is only showing operations for mutable sequences. If you scroll up and look at earlier in this document, here under Common Sequence Operations, you can see the operations that apply to all sequences. So that includes strings and tuples as well as lists. Now we've seen some of these operations in the last section. Again, they apply to both mutable and immutable sequence types. I didn't cover index and count, but we'll be looking at them shortly. And I also didn't cover min and max, but it's fairly obvious what they do. So let's see some examples. So we'll switch back to the code. We're going to start by creating a new Python file called number_lists. Let's start by typing even equals left square bracket 2, 4, 6, 8 and right square bracket to close it off. And next line odd equals left square bracket 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 right square bracket. So we've got two lists here. Even contains even numbers and odd contains odd numbers. If we use min and max, we should get 2 and 8 for even and 1 and 9 for odd. So let's try that. So print left parentheses min left parentheses even and the two closing right parentheses. Do the same but for max. So print left parentheses max left parentheses even and the two right parentheses. We'll do the same for odd as well. So print min odd. Same for max as well, for odd. Alright, so let's run the program now. No surprises there, 2 and 8 and 1 and 9 is the output. So moving on, len returns the number of items in the sequence. For a string, that would be the number of characters in the string. For a list though, it's the number of items. So let's try that out. Line 9, print left to right parentheses. Add an extra line break there, an extra line to separate the output. Line 10, print left parentheses, len left parentheses even. Then line 11 will do the same for odd. So print left parentheses len, left parentheses odd. Like so. Let's run this. You can see we get 4 for the length of even. That's because it contains 4 numbers. And 5 for odd. No surprises because it contains 5 numbers. Now our lists aren't very good at seeing what count does because each number only appears once in the lists. We can use a string instead to demonstrate this. So let's see how many times the letter S appears in Mississippi. So we're adding a line there, line break between our content, our output, and line 13 I'm going to type print left parentheses, double quotes, Mississippi, if I can spell it right, MISSISSIPPI. Closing double quote, then dot count, parentheses, double quotes, and S in the double quotes. Close off the line. Let's run this now. And you can see we've got the answer 4 there. I used a single character here, the letter S, as you can see, but we could use longer strings and get the count of that. So let's change the S to ISS. Let's run that. This time we've got the result 2. The string ISS appears twice in Mississippi. Now note that a character will only be used once when counting. You may look at the string and think that ISSI appears twice, but that would involve reusing the middle letter I. So as we can see, when I change this program to search for ISSI, or to count rather, ISSI, run that, you can see we get the answer 1 and not 2. We saw the index method in the last section when we searched the shopping list. At the time I said that the code could be made more efficient, so I'm going to come back to index soon in this section. Before that though, in the next video, we'll look at the table that I started the video with, the operations we can perform with mutable sequence types. See you in the next video.